Lagos is the center of excellence. It is beautiful, it is safe, and enjoys a history of being one of a few states in Nigeria that have never been divided. Its peaceful poise and splendid business terrain makes it the investment destination of choice in West Africa. Today, Lagos is the definition of Nigerian fashion, style, music, and artistic creativity. Its impressive credentials among other states in Nigeria attracts its ever-growing population. Statistics says more than 22 million residents live here. It further shows that every 1 minute, at least 19 people enter the state. Of these 19, only one goes back to his or her base. Everyone seeks to enjoy the boundless opportunities that the economic powerhouse of West Africa offers its residents. But this success story does not come by accident. History favors Lagos in being managed by visionary leaders since it was created in 1967 till date. Governor Akinwunmi Ambode is the 14th governor of the state. Since assumption of office in 2015, he has been working hard to keep the state on the path of excellence. In less than 2 years in office, his signature is now bold and clear in the minds of residents. Governor Ambode has given account of his stewardship to Lagos residents on many occasions, and residents have had the chance to engage their governor directly on matters affecting their lives. Governor Ambode has also addressed press conferences to take questions from journalists. These efforts have all defined him as a governor who believes firmly in putting the people at the center of his government. Recently, the governor held a media parley where he fielded questions from journalists. The upcoming Lagos at 50 celebrations topped the list.
Considering the fact that, Lagos is the smallest of the states in the country, is the only state that has actually never been divided since creation in 1967. So it's worth celebrating. Beyond the fact that Lagos is a state officially in Nigeria, remember also that since 1861, Lagos has always been a colony on its own. So the celebration it's a combination of history, heritage, culture, and values. That's what we want to stand to celebrate this May. And what stands Lagos, distinct from other places is that Lagos comes with its own peculiar energy. And it's that energy that we really want to show the world. The story of Lagos is more or less the story of the black race. Beyond the fact that Lagos is a cosmopolitan state right now, Lagos boasts of the real rich culture and heritage of Nigeria. Yet it's not as old as you have with other mega cities, but we just think that the brand Lagos is emerging in a way that the world has to take note of what is happening in Lagos. And that's why I'm committed to celebrating the whole of 2017 and to also, let people really know that there is a brand that is called Lagos that is out to compete with the rest of the world.
Perhaps one of the most critical environmental issues in Lagos today is the 100-hectare dump site at Olushosun in Ojota area of the state. The dump site is an eyesore. Statistics shows that the site receives up to 10,000 tons of rubbish each day. The offensive stench of the dump site is as worrisome as its burning fumes that pollute the air. Journalists asked Governor Akinwunmi Ambode what the state government was doing to address this.
Olushosun is what you see on your way towards Ojota. Yet, it's supposed to be called a landfill site, but the truth is also just a dump site. What we have right now as a solution to Olushosun is the Cleaner Lagos initiative, which I actually signed into law, the environmental sanitation law, just recently. What we intend to do is to have brand new engineered landfill sites. We believe that in the new solution, we should actually shut down that Olushosun dump site. There's nothing that says, and I want to correct that impression, we don't intend to utilize it immediately because we have to treat it. This is a dump site that has been there for almost 2 or 3 decades. It has to be treated, it has to be covered, it has to be re-engineered, And this could take maybe another 5 years, 6 years before you start to think of wanting to use it. But ideally, if we have our way on a long-term vision, we believe strongly that that place should actually serve more or less like an interstate transport terminal, in which we should not generally allow transporters to come into the main city. You know, that place should be more or less like an interstate terminal where vehicles stop. But again, this is a medium-term, long-term vision. But the truth is, we want to close down that land. The dump site in Olusosun is not healthy. You shouldn't have more or less what you see there in a vibrant city. And we think our new landfill sites that comes into the new Greener Lagos initiative will have the landfill sites actually outside the outskirts of Lagos.
With a rapidly growing population in Lagos State, the water need of Lagosians is pegged at 700 million gallons per day, but the Lagos State government barely provides 210 million gallons every day. This leaves it with a massive deficit of 500 million gallons to meet. Governor Ambode was asked to explain his plan to address this demand.
One of the steps that we have taken also is to see that in the new projects of this Adeyan 2 water works, we should be able to provide 70 million gallons per day. But you know, it doesn't really fill the gap. But the truth is, that project is being hindered by the foreign exchange fluctuations that we've been having recently. The contract is in euros, and also the naira counterpart also it's there. But of course, I believe strongly that in 2018 we should be able to deliver that additional works. But in addition to that, the real solution to water challenge in Lagos lies in the participation of the private sector. I believe strongly that it's time for us to understand the fact that the internal resources of government cannot actually provide the kind of water that you want for the citizens. And we've made the environment investor friendly. We believe strongly also that we need to allow the private sector to participate, and we've already commenced that. We're already having a concession given to Braille Nigeria Limited. We believe with the Odomola water scheme project, they'll be able to provide water to the residents of Lekki, Victoria Island, and Ikoyi. And I strongly believe that if that works, we should be able to also extend to the other areas in Lagos, ultimately to give us the water solution that we all, require.
Away from water supply, Inside Lagos took on Governor Ambode on the Blue Line Light Rail project. The project is being built as a high-capacity, electrically powered rail mass transit system that would convey passengers from Okokomaiko to Marina with 13 stations and an end-to-end journey time of approximately 35 minutes. The rail stretches across 23 kilometers. In 2015, Governor Akinwunmi Ambode famously announced that the first phase of the project would be completed by December 2016. Now that the deadline has passed, what is happening?
Yes, the Blue Rail project, which is supposed to, transport people from Mile 2 to CMS, is on course. I earlier promised that I was going to deliver in December 2016, but you're all living witnesses. You can also see that the economy is in a recession. The foreign exchange fluctuation also is affecting that project. And also there are other components of the project itself that we need to put in proper place. So I cannot tell you precisely when it will be delivered, but I believe strongly in 2018 also, before the end of 2018, we should see that come on upstream also.
During Governor Ambode's electioneering campaign, he told Lagosians about caring for the aged. His administration is credited with prompt payment of pensioners' benefits. But is that all?
My focus on the aged is that I must create a social platform for them to be able to be part of the dividends of democracy. And this year, we've decided that we'll create that citizen center in 3 different locations for our aged people. We believe that they are getting far off, away from the things that we're doing. And then you need to create a more or less like a care center for aged people, And the Ministry of Social Development is actually embarking on those projects simultaneously in a way that they also get the sense of belonging and that they are part of all the things that we're doing. I've also encouraged as much as possible to have interaction with the aged people, to be able to know what are the basic challenges. We also think that we involve them more in the areas where we have to do with interfaith pali, and that's where you really find our older people and then other things that we're trying to put together to make sure that I don't leave them behind. You know, I've always said my government is the government of inclusion. So in every strata and in every field, I tried as much as possible to make sure that everybody comes into that circle of governance. And that's what I intend to do for the next 2 years.
It is no longer news that the Nigerian economy is in recession. But despite this economic turmoil at the center, Lagos' economy keeps waxing strong. What is the state government doing differently?
If there's any government in the country that has actually, responded to the challenges of recession, I think we can pride ourselves that Lagos State has actually responded positively. We've appeared in every facet of the economy in a way that we just don't think recession. And it's very simple. What's recession anyway? The truth is this: you must continue to pump more money in terms of capital expenditure into the economy to be able to reflect whatever it is that is the gap that is missing. And that is what we have done frontally. You see that in our budget of last year, we decided also that we're going to take additional bonds to be able to pump more money into capital expenditure. And for the very first time, our policies and our strategies have been working. Last year, we got more internally generated revenue than any other year that this state has ever been in place. And that's happening in a recession. So what's happening? That means we're getting a good feedback on the capital expenditure that we're pumping into the system. So as we pump more money, more people are working, and then we're getting more taxes. Just last year, we had IGR of 312 billion. It's never happened in Lagos before. It's either we are plugging the leakages or we're doing more reforms, and again, we are doing more activities that is bringing more taxes. And that's what we've tried to do as much as possible. So, but generally, the recession, I would love to get more activities going in Lagos. But again, because of the policies and the recession that we're having, some other activities in the private sector are on a slow drive. And it's, that also impacts on the level of resources that we can get. So technically, we would have done better, say for the recession. But again, we're doing as much as possible to make sure that we influence the activities at the center to have a positive impact on the productive life cycle of Lagos. And that's what you see in some of the changes that you are seeing in the last few weeks in terms of foreign exchange operations and the kind of things that we'll try to also engineer to make sure that things are working in accordance with our own program. We would love to get out of recession. We're almost out of it. It's just a matter of wanting to think out with one or two policies, and then we accelerate productivity in the larger system, which impacts positively on our own resources here.
In the last 2 years, Lagos State has witnessed historic infrastructure growth. This administration has taken the construction of road a step further. In 2016, Governor Ambode made history when he inaugurated 114 inner city roads simultaneously, rehabilitated existing roads, constructed lay-bys, constructed pedestrian bridges, slip roads, and commenced the construction of 2 flyovers at the same time. All of this happened at a time many states in Nigeria are struggling to meet their primary responsibilities to the people. What does this say about Lagos City?
The last 22 months, you could see a deliberate effort to accelerate infrastructure development in Lagos. I mean, it's evident there. But is it enough? The answer is no. What is it that I really want? I envision a city where connectivity, mobility, and then enterprise thrive without any strong effort. But again, do I have the resources to actually provide this infrastructure? In as much as I really don't have it, the little that I have to spend it prudently. I really have to show the taxpayers, who are the owners of the resources, that I really mean well. And that's the thing I've done in the last 22 months. Now, even within the recession, even within the small resources, this is what I want to give you in terms of the taxes that you have paid. If I do it and you believe me, you are likely to pay more taxes for me to be able to deliver more. That's my mission here. And I have decided to do it in such a way that I am spreading it across all sectors. I'm spreading it across all zones in the city. I want a Lagos where Badagry, Ekpe, Ikorodu is not only economically viable, but it's also livable. I want to live and work in my home. I don't want this congestion that I have in the center. So that's this deliberate strategy and that's why you see this whole infrastructure coming up in different places. They look like in pieces, but at the end, maybe at the end of 2019, I would have been able to prove a point that I can work and live in Ekpe. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And to make sure that whatever it is that we get in terms of taxes, we spend it judiciously, and then we are also transparent enough to allow people to have credibility, for us to be credible, so that they'll be able to pay more of their taxes.
But Governor Ambode is not resting on his oars. Recently, the Lagos state government rolled out plans to transform some landmark areas in the Marina and Onikon axis, and also opted to take over the National Stadium. Governor Ambode explained his plan.
You see that part of what we had actually stated in our manifesto was more or less, a concept that says you can use tourism, you can use entertainment and arts, you can use culture, you can use hospitality, you can also use sports to drive a new Lagos. I always say it anywhere. The white-collar job syndrome is dead. I don't have jobs for people in Alausa here. It's not going to happen. So the new jobs are in creativity and innovation. They are in service. So I, as the driver of that new initiative, I need to create a platform that creates a convergence between hospitality, sports, entertainment, arts. And that's why you see I'm big on it. And I also show it by way of style and practice. I'm involved with the artists, I'm involved with the entertainers, I'm involved with curators, I'm involved with people who are running hotels, because I see the future of Lagos there. That's where the future of Lagos is. Yes, I'm making 2/3 of my money from internally generated revenue. I don't want to depend on oil for Lagos. I want to secure the future prosperity of Lagos. So if I'm going to do it, I have to find a place where the larger proportion of the population is, and they are jobless. 66% of the people in Lagos are below the age of 35. In another 5-10 years, what will happen to them? About 2/3 of that bracket are jobless. But you know what? They have talent, they are innovative, they are creative, they want to play music, they want to do other things, they want to make up, they want to be tailors, they want to be anything. So there's dignity in labor. So a government, a leader must stand up and create a framework for them to be able to now thrive in their little talent. So that's why you see me, I go to the National Arts Theatre, I want to take it. You see me, I go to the National Stadium, I want to take it. You see me, I'm in the National Museum, I want to build a new museum for Lagos. So it's not about me, it's about the future of these people who are below the age of 35, that I must stand up for them. They have said I should go there and stand up. So I'm standing up for them, and that's why I want to combine all those issues together as one single project. And I'm determined to do that. And that's why you see that since the beginning of this year, that's where my focus is. That's what I want to deliver for 2017 to 2019. And God will help us. Right now, the federal government doesn't have that kind of resources to want to spend so much money there. The last time a football match was played in the National Stadium was 12 years ago. Do you know what that means for me to engage these younger people to come to the sports facility there? Do you know how that complements my vision? Because I intend to do additional recreational facilities across the state. So I want to catch people young. I really want to develop their talent. So that's where I'm going. So in terms of collaboration, you had alluded to it the other time. An APC government in the center, an APC government here, I'm likely to have a good bridge to cross naturally, minus human impediments. And I should be able to use it for the overall development of sports, overall development of arts, not for Lagosians. The city is too cosmopolitan. Overall interest of Nigerians. I would have been counted, I would be happy when I walk away that I stood up for something for Nigeria. And that's the whole essence of my staying here. And for every other thing, those ones are federal government assets. We want to actually sponsor a new contemporary museum that is world class. We'll talk about it some other time, but the truth is this: you have over 40,000 artifacts in the museum that is just lying down there. And a whole lot of our artifacts are actually even outside the country. But we don't have a location to retrieve them back and put them. That's where we're going. That's what we want. And that's why I'm doing this.
Still on urban regeneration, last year the Lagos State government announced that the popular My 12 market will be relocated to Imota in Ikorodu, and the Okobaba sawmill at Ebute Meta would be relocated to Agbowa, also in Ikorodu. It's set a September deadline for both markets, but today the deadline has passed and the markets have not been relocated. Governor Ambode explained why.
The relocation of the My 12 market is ongoing. It's going to happen. The construction of the new market at Imota the project is ongoing. You can visit Imota, you see that the project is ongoing. The whole idea is that urbanization has actually taken over the location of the present Mile 12 market. So the best thing is to create a standard market where we will eventually refer to as commodities market. When the construction ends, hopefully, I think it could end by December this year, we'll relocate the market to that Imota. Just recently, you'll see that there was a fire outbreak at that sawmill at Ebute Meta. The sawmillers are willing, they have signed that they want to relocate. But you see, I need to create an enabling environment for them to be able to move to Agbowa. I believe that should be ready by August. And before the year runs out, the Okobaba sawmill will become history. When you're going on the third mainland, I mean, you see the kind of eyesore after Oworo and you turn to your right. That's not the city we want. And obviously, this is something that has been taken, the complaint that we've had for years, and I believe strongly by moving the sawmillers, that will be the very first step in the regeneration of that axis.
After almost an hour chat with the media, Governor Ambode addressed Lagosians.
Wanting to do the work of Lagos in the last 22 months. It's been challenging, it's been very interesting, and again, it's been humbling. The truth is this: when you look at our manifesto when we put it up in 2015, it was very clear that we were out there to serve people. And we had said that this is where the specific things we will do in the different sectors. When you look back, you will see that we've kept our word. I believe strongly that politics is about people, and people all talk about politics all the time. But what has always been missing is the respected leadership to deliver to the people what they want. And we think that Lagos is on the right path to give governance back to the people. And that's what we've tried to do in this last 22 months. That's what we will try to close in the next 26 months. And we believe by May 2019, we'll have to go back to my manifesto and also think I would have delivered whatever it is that I said I was going to deliver at the beginning. So God bless Lagosians.
The chat lasted for more than 1 hour. Both sides finished the meeting without doubts that all the germane issues in Lagos State had been discussed. Governor Akinwunmi Ambode, in a show of rare humility, went round to personally thank the journalists that attended the chat. The present administration has proven its worth in the last 2 years as a government that can be trusted and truly people-centric. It has set a higher goals for itself in the second half of its 4 years term, and Lagosians are watching.